Hey there, it's Alicia Carlson, the face behind Find Your Thrive, an online community that is committed to helping you stop the busy, take yourself off the back burner, and thrive in the areas that matter most. Today I want to talk to you about integrity. Now, if you're like me, you might find it really easy to keep your word and to be a woman of integrity when it comes to following through when you've made a promise or commitment to somebody else. But when it comes to keeping that promise or keeping the word to yourself, it can be a little bit easier to let it slide. Oftentimes we let our excuses get in the way or our busy schedules or fill in the blank. And I know for myself, when I'm operating out of that place of constantly letting myself down, constantly not following through on the things that I say matter, that begins to kind of erode my confidence. It starts to shake me up a little bit. I start to question, I start to doubt again. And it's just as true for the opposite, that when I am consistently taking action, when I'm consistently following through, when I'm consistently holding myself to a certain standard of just keeping my word to myself, my confidence begins to rise. And it's the kind of confidence that isn't easily shaken. This month, that's kind of what we're talking about, is developing strategies, using tools, and developing skills to help us build that internal confidence that is not easily shaken by a bad hair day or an outfit that doesn't look quite right or anything else like that. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having good hair days or having a wonderful wardrobe, and all of those things certainly can help us to feel good. But what happens in life when those things aren't around, or maybe it's that time of month and we're feeling a little bit bloated or sluggish? I certainly don't want to be swayed so easily by those kinds of things anymore. I definitely spent a season of my life feeling really good about myself when I looked good, but when I didn't look so good, I wouldn't feel so great about myself. And so really taking some time to cultivate the confidence that doesn't get shaken, that internal confidence, is huge. And that's something that's going to last, and it's something that's going to be able to be passed down and paid forward and all of those things. So I would just like to challenge you to think about, in the last day or maybe even the last week, what are some things that you told yourself you would do or that you would quit doing that you didn't quite follow through on? Think about those things. Think about how you felt as a result of not following through for yourself, not coming through for yourself. And then maybe even start to think about why it was that you weren't able to keep your word. You might start to see some patterns. You might start to see some areas or some places where you're consistently letting yourself down. And this isn't at all for you to get down on yourself or to feel guilty or to feel shamed. It's simply to bring a little bit of self-awareness. That, I believe, is one of the first keys to making any real lasting change. We have to get curious about ourselves. We have to start to explore and just kind of dissect some of our thoughts, some of our behavior patterns, our beliefs. And you kind of have to get comfortable with being in the muck for a little bit so that you can ultimately get out of the muck and hopefully turn around and help somebody else out of the muck as well. So take a little time today to kind of look at the last day or the last week and see if you can notice some areas of your life where you're consistently not showing up for yourself, where you're not following through, you're not keeping your word to yourself. And then see if you can detect maybe some beliefs, some thought patterns around those different things that might be driving you to not take action, that might be allowing those excuses to take hold and to take over. Once you start keeping your word to yourself, you're not only going to build that confidence, but you're going to begin to trust yourself so much more. And that is huge. That's huge for you in pursuing different goals or moving towards your dreams down the road. So go ahead and spend a little time just kind of assessing this last week in areas of your life that maybe you didn't quite show up the way that you wanted. Figure out why it was, and then let's work on figuring out how we can develop a little bit of strategy to overcome that. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear if you have any requests for different topics. You can leave those in the comments below. Make sure you hit subscribe so that you can stay in the loop. Like I said, we're talking about some different strategies this month around confidence and building that internal confidence. So feel free to pop back through some of the previous videos to check out some of the other strategies that I've shared. And until next time, have a great day and don't be afraid to get curious about yourself.